CNN reporter Kaitlin Collins come under fire this week to do with a text or a tweet or whatever it was, where she claimed someone as a fag, which is a derogatory term for a gay person, and claiming she was uncomfortable rooming with a lesbian while attending the University of Alabama. Now, this tweet was 8 years ago, and she doesn't reflect or doesn't think it reflects her opinion now. And that's a fair comment. But if her and the other Portal people didn't get all sanctimonious about Donald's affair 12 years ago, or Judge Kavanaugh's alleged rape 36 years ago, or his drinking habits from the same time period, you can't have it both ways. So if CNN, Clinton News Network, think Mr. Kavanaugh should be precluded for alleged and subsequently unproven allegations, be dismissed from that position, then by the same token Miss Collins should be precluded from being a Portal person for stating someone was a fag and she didn't like lesbians. Should she not? Same rules apply. Ms. Von Ritz, I'm not going to put too much attention to that Nazi, but yet again she's launched an attack on Kim this week. But the question remains, if Kim can't do this and Kim can't do that, is how did she fund the government? How did she transfer funds to banks which refused to credit the project owners? Answers on a postcard, please, Miss Von Ritz. Now, of course, this week we've had the alleged hurricane, BS again. Reports, you see, most people are drawn to certain things. And this is part of the programming of TV, where they follow whoever's talking. And then you see the real details. They're posted on there, because they have to. But whilst you're distracted by the clown having water thrown on him, making it look like he's getting pissed on by heavy volumes of rain, or he's getting blown over by 155 mile an hour winds, when it's really 30 or 40, then you'll miss the real truth, which is posted down the side, where it says winds between 16 and 53. Still not too pleasant, but it's certainly not catastrophic. These people really need to be showing up, because they're an utter disgrace to humanity, putting people in fear. But there's another aspect that's not covered about hurricanes and tropical storms. And the two issues are, particularly in Florida, should we really be building structures just a few feet above sea level in a hurricane zone? Because you're guaranteed to have flooding. Should we really not drastically, and I mean drastically, improve the construction techniques in Florida and the other Gulf Coast regions? Because quite frankly, the construction of homes and buildings in America that I've seen is beyond disgrace. None of them would pass a building test in Europe. None of them. We have to completely overhaul how and where we build in regions that can be exposed to flooding. Look at right round Florida in and of itself. All the most expensive properties are all built on what is essentially a bloody sandbank that go right round the coast. Daytona, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, you name it. It's all on a sandbank. So when you get storms coming in, of course it's going to bloody flood. It's part of the ocean. And then they're building timber structures with very poor construction techniques. Like I said, none of them. Every single house in Florida would be condemned in Britain. It's not fit for purpose. So when you see dramatic pictures of roofs flying off and buildings collapsing, it's not a surprise. They've been poorly built, largely by people from other countries who don't have proper training in construction. None. Someone told me a figure that 80% of construction workers were illegals. I also know that roofing companies in Florida are going out of business because they can't get any staff. Why? Because of the cut down on the illegals coming into the country. No one will do it. But these people that are coming in are trained in poor techniques, where let's just throw the house up as cheaply as possible and sell it, and it doesn't really matter if a storm smashes it all down. It's not their house, is it? They've already had their money. That has to stop. We have to be a lot more sensible on how and where we build, given the propensity for weather events, whether real or not, whether exaggerated or not. And that's the key issue. Poor construction and building in low-lying areas. Fine to build in low-lying areas, but then you have to build a seawall. We have low-lying areas in the UK. They build a seawall to stop the water surge, or the bulk of it anyway. You know, if it's going to surge 15, 20 feet, you know, you're not going to build a 20-foot wall in front of a beachfront hotel. But the lack of infrastructure in protecting people's properties is damaging in this country, and it's something we have to think about.